All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go from Daytona. Wessel Stevens and Adam Barker on the front row. Max Gunther and points leader Nick Sorensen on the second row. Ellis Johnson, Simon Zierk have the third row. Rudolph Gunther, Andrew Lau in the fourth row. Mike Dalling and Roman Berg round out the top 10. Stuart Hare starting in 11th next to Jason Starr in 12th. Mike Marshall in 13th. Suleiman Khan in 14th. And the rookie Ryan Anderson in 15th. And it is worth noting Roman Berg is back in the Iceberg Lettuce car. See if we can get the cameraman. And it does on the back of the car say it is an Iceberg Lettuce theme. Ha ha ha. Everybody getting stacked up on the grid. Track temperature was really cool in practice, has not heated up much. It is 72-degree track temp, 69-degree air temperatures. That cooler track does give them a bit more grip. And Jason Starr did not make the grid. Everybody else is rolling. Here they come through the new bus stop. That newly configured bus stop has been tricky for the drivers this year, but they've had plenty of practice over the last couple of weeks to adapt. Adam Barker getting some heat and cleaning those tires off up top. He is back in the Hello Kitty car this morning. Will Hello Kitty bring him some good luck again? The 9-time champ has had a rough start to the season. Can he turn it around here today? All right, here we go. Pace car is in. Wessel fires there away. The green flag flies at Daytona. Wow, Adam sent it deep into turn one. Got right back to Wessel's bumper. Everybody coming through the first couple of turns. Down into the International Horseshoe. A lot of drivers struggle with this, especially on cold tires. It looks like everybody making it through. Into the second horseshoe, single file through most of the field. Wessel already trying to pull away as they turn out onto the banking. Oh, Barker's around behind. Andrew Lau may have gotten into it. Roman Berg and Stuart Hare involved. And that opened up a big gap for Wessel down the backstretch toward the bus stop. And points leader Nick Sorensen has had a problem. He has towed it in. Max Gunther now into second. Ellis up to third. This could be a huge points race for Ellis if Sorensen does not get back out. And across the start-finish line, Wessel Stevens will lead lap 1. And let's see if we can get a look at those lap 1 incidents. Alright, there's Andrew Lau back behind. You see Barker spins coming out onto the banking. So does Lau. Roman Berg just gets clipped. Watching Roman from the chopper, the two cars spinning ahead. Roman tries to go to the outside, gets clipped, and then ends up going right into Lau. A rough start for several drivers. And we had a couple more incidents. Let's take a quick look. Alright, there's Sorensen. He tried to recover, but it looks like that car was done. He had to tow it in. A few moments later, Adam Barker tries to get that car working. Comes through the bus stop, spins it. He does limp it to pit road. A rough start for several drivers. We do have Sorensen on his way back out. Max Gunther in second has the fastest lap so far, 144.32. Not the fastest lap we have seen this morning by a lot. So these guys do have a bit more speed in the cars once they get the heat into the tires. Ellis Johnson came into the morning second in points. He's now in third with points leader Nick Sorensen in 13th. Simon Zierk now to fourth. Rudolph Gunther in fifth. Mike Dalling in sixth. Suleiman Cohen has avoided everything so far, up 7 spots into seventh. Andrew Lau got caught up in that early incident back in 8th. Rookie Ryan Anderson up 6 spots into 9th. Mike Marshall, the lone Mercedes, currently in 10th. Roman Berg also back out on track, as well as Sorensen. Looks like everybody has made it back out. As Wessel had the fastest lap for a brief moment, then Max came across with a 143.80. Rudolph Gunther looks like he is on the attack. I believe that's the lap car of Sorensen right behind. Rudolph trying to reel in. Simon Zierk just ahead. Mike Dalling in the lone McLaren this morning. Back in 6th, but Suleiman is closing in. I did hear Dalling say that McLaren is a death trap coming through the bus stop. Wessel still out front by 1.4 seconds over Max. Max is the faster of the two at the moment. Ellis still holds on to third, about 1.4 seconds back. Meanwhile, back behind 7th place, Suleiman Cohen is just about caught Mike Dolling, the Minister of Defense. And Andrew Lau is in a problem back behind. There's Andrew coming through the bus stop. Oh, he hits the rumble strips on exit way too hard and slams the outside wall. He did end up towing it in. And that was a hard hit for Lau. Did not expect to see a battle of attrition here this morning, but we are starting to see that play out a little bit. Adam Barker, Nick Sorensen, Roman Berg, all involved in early incidents. All three were expected to be battling for the win. They'll have to wait for race 2 to get back into the fight. Max Gunther sets the fastest lap again, 143.64. It is worth noting, Wessel is getting faster as well. But Max still the faster of the top two. Suleiman Khan back in 7th, still right on the bumper of the Minister of Defense. Right there within striking distance. But Mike does not make a lot of mistakes, so Suleiman's going to have to fight for that position. Simon Zierk, the lone BMW, still trying to reel in Rudolph Gunther. He's about 0.8 of a second behind Rudolph. But as we mentioned during pre-race, the Porsche no longer has that balance of power in place. We expect it to be the dominant car this morning. And you can see there the vast majority of the field are in Porsches this morning. "15 cars in the field, only 3 of them rather, not Porsches." Wessel's lead now about 1.1 seconds over Max. Ellis still in 3rd, Rudolph in 4th, Simon in 5th. Simon is starting to lose some ground to Rudolph. Suleiman Khan right on the McLaren's back bumper. Does look like Mike is getting through the bus stop a little bit quicker than Suleiman at the moment, but as we mentioned, Mike did say that McLaren is lethal coming through the bus stop. Roman Berg back on track, back in 13th. Nick Sorensen, the points leader, in 12th. Adam Barker currently in 11th after that lap 1 incident. Wessel still out front, but Max continuing to inch closer and closer. Ellis Johnson in 3rd, losing ground to the top 2 at the moment, but he does have a 3.7 second gap back to Rudolph. Rudolph has opened up a 1.7 second gap on Simon. Suleiman Khan gets close to Mike, then loses ground, now a second back. The rookie Ryan Anderson having a great start to his NSS career. Ryan already up 7 spots into 8th. He managed to avoid everything in the early going. And it is worth noting, several of these drivers did compete in the 24 Hours of Daytona. Some of them extremely tired this morning. Will that lead to mistakes late in the race? Hey, good morning, Shadow. Max did set the fastest lap last time by 1:43.6. Still lurking about 1.2 seconds behind Wessel at the moment. Shadow, I was about to ask if you competed, how did your team do? Rudolph Gunther has picked up a slowdown coming through the bus stop. Simon Zierk is closing quickly. Rudolph still trying to burn it off. Simon's going to take the spot. Rudolph finally gets that slowdown cleared, but Simon Zierk to 4th. Stuart Hare currently in 10th. Does look like this is Stewart's first race of the season. No, I stand corrected. Stewart did race at Imola, where he had a pretty decent day, but has missed several races, not in points contention. And he got caught up, obviously, in that early incident, had some damage to his Porsche. Hey, great job. 10th in GT3 is awesome. Thank you for reminding me, Jason. I have it written down on another piece of paper, but I forgot. And Wessel just set the fastest lap at 1:43.32. Ellis still lurking back in 3rd. Simon in 4th as Rudolph on his bumper. Suleiman Khan had reeled in Mike Dolling, but has now slipped about 1.7 seconds back. Wessel has led from the drop of the green, now is a 1.5 second lead on Max. Ryan Anderson back in 8th. The rookie definitely having a great run this morning. Mike Marshall up 4 spots into 9th. Stuart Hare is in 10th, but has Barker on his bumper. Stuart did not go in and get repairs after his incident. That missing front clip is definitely having an impact. Nick Sorensen and Simon Zierk have had a problem. There's Nick back behind Simon. Oh, looks like Simon may have gotten a bump. Looking down from the choppers, they come through turn 1. Rudolph gets a better run out of 1 right into Simon's back bumper. And it does look like Simon Zierk has towed it in. Good morning, B. Potts. Suleiman Khan has caught back up to Mike. Mike Marshall now up into 8th. Ryan Anderson up to 7th with the invert. He is currently going to start race 2 from the pole. And the battle is on for the lead. On the final lap, Max Gunther has caught up to Wessel. Back onto the back straightaway for the final time. Max is right there. Wessel leads him out. Max swings wide. Wessel is slowed down. Something is wrong. And Max Gunther will take it to victory lane with the last lap pass. Max Gunther will win race 1 at Daytona. Ellis Johnson coming home in 2nd. Rudolph coming home in 3rd. And I am guessing Max Gunther ran out of fuel. I'm sorry, not Max. Wessel, I am guessing, ran out of fuel. Let's talk to our top 3. Rudolph, you had one heck of a race, and A few wild events, but you still managed to come home in third.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. I feel really sorry for the little touch I gave Simon, which led to the end of our nice battle for position 3. I'm really sorry for that, but I had no chance. He broke a little bit harder than I broke, and so I pushed him out. Well, at the end, I got P3 due to Vessel because he ran out of fuel.
That
So I'm
was
happy.
that was definitely an event on the final lap. Wesley coming out of the bus stop and running out of fuel. Still, you had a
Yeah.
heck of a race and a heck of a finish, man.
Yeah, thank you very much. I really loved it today.
Well, great job. Good
Thank you.
luck in race 2, buddy.
Thank you. Thank you, Doug.
Ellis coming home in second. Ellis, you managed to come home in second. It looked like you had a podium locked up, but last lap everything changed and still coming home in second.
I will take it. He was talking like halfway through the race. I don't think I have enough fuel. Yeah, he ended up being like I think a liter or two short. So I'll take second place. I've done a lot of practice this week. It's obviously paid off.
And a huge points event so far, coming home in second with Nick finishing way back. That'll help close that gap up.
I think my goal second race, because he's starting I think in like 13th or something, and I'll be in third or fourth. Just get a podium. That'd be a huge points makeup.
Well, man, you're on track for it so far this morning. A heck of a run, man. Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
And back in victory lane, Max Gunther. Max, you're back in victory lane and it ain't even raining.
Yeah, it was a fun race. Wessel just didn't fuel enough, so it was a gifted victory.
When you came into the bus stop, did you on that last lap, did you know he was out of fuel, or were you surprised coming out of the bus stop he was so slow?
No, he screamed. He was going, no! And then I just overtook him.
Well, it definitely worked out, man. It looked like you guys were going to have a heck of a battle to the line, but, man, a great job and a great win. Now you have to start from 7th and come through the field again.
Yeah, that's gonna be fun-ish, I think. Yeah, yesterday wasn't good with the field, so let's see.
Well, with the Porsche not having the BOP in this race, man, that car was looking awfully fast.
Yeah, it's fast. It's I think the fastest car on the grid. Easy.
Well, it definitely shows with as many as we're seeing this morning, man. Great run and a great win. Congratulations, Max.
Thank you, Doug. Thank you.
Max Gunther gets the win in race 1. The drivers have 2 minutes left in warm-up. Then we go racing with the top 7 inverted. We're definitely in for quite a show. Folks, we'll be back in just a moment. Don't go anywhere. All right, just under a minute left to go in warm-up. Some of the drivers coming out practicing pit road entry. And folks, don't forget, we're back at Daytona tonight, 9:30 Eastern, as the SMRX Series new season begins tonight. It is definitely Daytona Day here at HTSAI. Buckle up, race 2 about to begin. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Race 2 from Daytona. The top 7 inverted puts Mike Marshall and Ryan Anderson on the front row. Suleiman Collin, Mike Dalling on the second row. Rudolph Gunther, Ellis Johnson have the third row. Max Gunther starts in 7th after winning race 1. Adam Barker in 8th. Stuart Hare in 9th. Wessel Stevens rounds out the top 10. Simon Zierk in 11th, next to Nick Sorensen in 12th. Roman Berg 13th. Andrew Lau in 14th. Do not expect Jason Starr to take the grid. All the drivers lined up, the cars filled with fuel. Drivers heading out of the bus stop to stack back up. Remember, when the pace car hits pit road, Mike Marshall can fire anytime after that. Race 1 was definitely eventful. What will we see with the invert coming into race 2? Race 1 was definitely not what we expected. Let's see what happens here. Pace car dives in. Mike Marshall fires there. Away the green flag flies for race 2 at Daytona. Several drivers already shuffle as they go into turn 1. They are 3 wide. Oh, we've got one around. Ryan Anderson off in the grass. Rudolph Gunther takes the lead. Ryan has recovered but lost a ton of ground as they come through the kink. Oh, contact between Adam and Wessel. Several cars off in the grass. Rudolph Gunther pulling away. Ellis now to second. Mike Marshall still holding on to third. Suleiman Collin now in fourth. Mike Dalling in fifth. Max Gunther on the outside in sixth. Adam Adam Barker is recovered in 7th, Simon in 8th, Nick in 9th, Roman in 10th. Rudolph Gunther out front, Ellis right where he wants to be, doing exactly what he needs to do to close the gap in the points. And Rudolph Gunther will lead lap 1. Let's take a look at those early incidents. All right, Ryan Anderson was battling for second as they came through turn 1. Makes it out of turn 1, but on the power. Oh, he clips the grass. Then a few moments later, as they come through the kink, watching Adam Barker just ahead, Nick Sorensen. Adam slides out, Nick goes through the grass, Wessel goes around. Stuart Hare back behind, he also catches a piece of this. Stewart gets the hit and sent into the fence. A bumpy start to race 2. And Max Gunther has had a problem. He has towed it in. There's Max on the outside of Mike Marshall into turn 1. They just barely get together, but Max slamming into the tire wall. And Stuart Harris had a problem. There's Stewart as he comes out onto the banking. So slick right there, he just goes around. Well, definitely an eventful start to race 2 as well. Rudolph Gunther and Ellis Johnson have managed to avoid the worst of it. Suleiman Khan now up into 3rd. Mike Marshall in 4th. Mike Dolling in 5th. Adam Barker in 6th. Nick Sorensen now up into 7th. Simon Zierk in 8th. Roman Berg in 9th. Wessel in 10th as the fastest lap so far. Ryan Anderson has recovered up to 11th. Stuart Hare in 12th. Andrew Lau back in 13th. Max Gunther on pit road getting repairs. Rudolph's lead about 0.8 of a second. Stuart Harris had another problem. There's Stewart coming toward the International Horseshoe. Just a little too deep into the turn. Goes around, quickly recovers. Rudolph Gunther has the fastest lap so far. Last time by, 144.24. The track temperature has come up since race 1. Now 75-degree track temp and 71-degree air temp. A little bit hotter overall than when they started, but it is 11:14 track time. Ellis Johnson in second has caught up to Rudolph. Remember, Ellis said he just wants a podium, but if he can get to victory lane this morning, he can close the gap up on Sorensen even more. Nick Curley runs in seventh, Wessel in eighth, right on his bumper. Remember, a couple laps ago, Wessel was back in 10th. Wessel was caught up in that lap 1 incident. And there goes Wessel to the outside in turn 1. Barker to the outside as well. Adam Barker moving up into 5th. We've got a battle into the horseshoe. Sorensen tries to get to the outside on Mike Marshall. Now has the inside line coming into the kink. Oh! Sorensen through the grass. This is going to be close. And a hard hit for Nick. Wow. This will be a moment we'll remember late in the season. Let's take another look. All right, watching Nick Sorensen as he tries to make the move outside on Mike Marshall. Looks like they had a little contact. Nick sends it into the kink. Gets loose, comes across Marshall's nose. And man, that had to scare a few drivers as he came across the horseshoe. Simon Zierk was back behind all of this. He checks up, but Mike Marshall gets into him and Roman. Wow. We may very well have just seen the moment that changes the championship here this morning. Good question, Jason. Will anybody not in a Porsche win? Considering there's only 3 cars on track that are not Porsches, I find it unlikely. Simon Zierk has been to pit road for repairs as Mike Marshall has had a problem. There's Mike already damaged as he comes into the bus stop. Looks like he just was trying to navigate, but kind of got stuck. Rudolph Gunther still has the lead. Ellis in second. Nick Sorensen, who had to tow to pit road. Nick is out of the race. The points leader is out of the race. And this, as we mentioned, could be a championship-defining race. Ellis Johnson finished second in race 1. Sorensen was in 10th. Now Nick Sorensen out of the race will be scored in 14th. Ellis currently in second. Nick came into the morning with an 83-point lead. Ellis gained about 10 points in race 1. But would gain another 30 points here in race 2 as they run now. And if Ellis can pull off the win, that is another 5 points. And here we go, Ellis to the outside for the lead. They get out of that first sector and head toward the International Horseshoe. Rudolph pulls ahead for the moment. Lap traffic will come into play for these two, but that lap car is Max Gunther. Will Max go out of his way to help his dad, or will he move to let both drivers by? Rudolph holds on to the lead for the moment. Ellis still has second. Suleiman Khan in third. And Ellis looking to the outside again into turn 1, but can't get there. And looks like we had a bit of a hiccup. We are back. At the moment, Rudolph Gunther still in control. Hey, good morning, Animal. Adam Barker has made his way up into third now. Suleiman in fourth. Wessel Stevens up to fifth, but with a damaged front end. from that earlier incident. Starting to close in on the halfway point, and fuel strategy is going to be interesting. Unlikely to see any of these drivers take on tires this morning. Likely to be fuel only for most of the field. The rookie Ryan Anderson battling with Mike Dolling. Mike currently in 6th. Ryan in 7th. Simon Zierk now in 8th. Andrew Lau in 9th. Max Gunther in 10th. Stuart Hare back in 11th. Roman Berg in 12th. And Nick Sorensen confirming he is out of the race. As Ellis blinks his lights at Rudolph, trying to distract him. Suleiman Khan, Adam Barker battle for 3rd. Suleiman back into 3rd, Adam in 4th. Roman Berg is right there with him. Roman currently in 12th. Adam's going back to the inside. Adam sends it deep into 1, reclaims 3rd for the moment. Rudolph Gunther still holding on to the lead, but Ellis still about 0.6 of a second back. Adam has pulled a little bit of a gap on Suleiman already. Wessel back in 5th despite the damage on that car. He is about 5.1 seconds behind that battle. He is closing in. Mike Dolling currently in 6th, is pulling away from Ryan Anderson in 7th. Simon back in 8th, is closing on the rookie. Andrew Lau back in 9th, Max Gunther in 10th. And since he's out of the race, let's see if we can get a quick word with our points leader. Hey Nick, it's Doug. You got me?
Hey Doug, I gotcha.
Well, that has to be a frustrating morning. He came in with a big points lead, but problems in both races, and you're going to take a hit this morning.
Yeah, for sure. it's an unfortunate accident in the first race, and then the second race, man, we were pushing pretty good there. A lot of action in the first few laps, but got a little loose in the kink there and lost the car. So I'm happy to say that went to the infield care center. Spirit of the realism here, I'm okay.
Well, it is good you're okay. No concussion. You did have a bit of a hit when you backed it into the tire wall.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's too much damage on the car, so it's well behind there.
Well, it was definitely a wild start to both races, but now you're going to take a big hit in the points. Going into next week, you're at the Algarve circuit. How are you feeling about your chances of making some ground back up there?
It's going to take some work because that's not a circuit I'm really familiar with. But the last couple weeks been a similar scenario where it's not a track that we visit often. So it just takes extra practice, really doing some laps, putting in the time there and then trying to get a good result.
Well, it's definitely going to be fun to watch, man. A heartbreaking morning at Daytona, but great job, buddy.
Yep, it happens. So just do the best we can next week.
All right, bud. Great job today.
Thanks.
Points leader Nick Sorensen. You can tell he's disappointed. Good morning, Quack. Hope you're having some fun there, Quackers. Rudolph Gunther still in the lead, but Ellis right there with him. Oh, Rudolph's around Ellis to the lead. Wow. Let's take a look at that. Rudolph was coming through one of the slickest parts of the track. Looking down from the chopper, Rudolph comes onto the banking, and the back end just snaps loose. Ellis very close, but manages to avoid him. Rudolph does recover, but man, he lost some ground. And now Ellis Johnson has the lead by over 10 seconds. Wessel Stevens has completed his pit stop. Suleiman Khan is in. Remember, we are expecting fuel only on these stops. Suleiman hits his stall, and it is going to be fuel only. Ryan Anderson is coming in. Ellis's lead now 10.7 seconds. Adam Barker has had a problem behind. All right, there's Barker coming through the kink, and the car just breaking loose on him. Adam was in third at the moment, but he is going to lose a lot of ground. Well, we have seen the top three shaken up in a very big way in the last few laps. Ellis Johnson's lead now 11 seconds over Rudolph. Adam Barker another 7.5 seconds back in third. Mike Marshall has had a problem. There's Mike after repairs coming through the bus stop. Hits the exit a little too hard. Goes around and smacks the outside wall. Ellis's lead holds at 11 seconds over Rudolph and Adam. Mike Dolling now in fourth, Wessel Stevens in fifth. And at the moment, Wessel is the fastest car on track. The leader is in. Ellis Johnson brings it in for his stop. Rudolph Gunther is in behind. Adam Barker is in third as well. And it is fuel only for everybody so far. Mike Dolling stays out to stretch it. He'll take the lead for the first time today. How far can that McLaren stretch the fuel? We know historically it's one of the better cars on the fuel. But we know nobody can go the distance here. He will have to make a stop. Simon Zierk back in sixth, now on Adam's bumper. Suleiman Cohen back in seventh, about 3.5 seconds back. Andrew Lau currently in eighth. Ryan Anderson in ninth, Max Gunther in 10th. Roman Berg in 11th. Stuart Hare is in for his stop. And Mike Marshall in 13th. Mike Dolling is in. As Ellis reclaims the lead. And Mike Marshall has had a problem back behind. There's Mike coming out of turn one. Goes a little bit wide. Oh, looks like he may have gotten a bump there. Looked like he was moving out of the way for the leaders. And I got a little bump off into the grass. Yep, just a little love tap. Mike Marshall did end up towing it into pit road. After pit stops, Ellis still has the lead by 11.8 seconds over Rudolph. Wessel Stevens now up into third and closing in on Rudolph. Adam Barker slips back to fourth. Simon Zierk in fifth. Wessel has been on the attack since the drop of the green. Got caught up in that early incident, but he has fought back. Currently just 1 second behind Rudolph and closing. Rudolph goes wide. And Wessel takes second. And here's that pass for second. Rudolph into the horseshoe. Just slides wide. Got loose but managed to save it. But Wessel slips by to take second. And folks, don't forget to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, Instagram, and YouTube. We put out 10 to 12 YouTube shorts every day, but we may have put out a few extra for you this weekend. And a whole variety of stuff as well. Wessel in second, about 11.7 seconds back and closing as Adam Barker has had a problem. Adam coming through that second horseshoe. On the power, out goes around. The 9-time champ has had a rough start to this season. Next week, next Sunday morning, we will be at the Algarve, and we reach the halfway point in the season, and a big shakeup in the points after today. Suleiman Khan has had a problem at turn 1. And there's Suleiman battling in the top 5, but loses the back end on a close call for the cars behind. Wessel Stevens now just under 11 seconds behind Ellis. At the moment, he's about a half a second a lap faster. But he's only got about 6 or 7 laps to get it done. He's going to have to be a lot faster to reel in the leader. And Simon is in for his stop. Wessel continuing to reel in Ellis Johnson. Rudolph Gunther back in third, about 2.5 seconds back. Adam Barker now in fourth, Suleiman Khan in fifth. Mike Dalling holds on to sixth, Simon Zierk in seventh. Ryan Anderson in eighth. Roman Berg is in for his stop. Andrew Lau now to ninth. Roman slipping back to 10th, maybe 11th, as Max Gunther goes by. Stuart Hare back in 12th. Mike Marshall, Nick Sorensen, both out early. Wessel Stevens less than 10.5 seconds back. He is still gaining on the leader. But time is definitely against him with less than 10 minutes to go. Roman Berg has picked up a slowdown coming through the infield. He has got it burned off, but it cost him a lot of speed on the banking. Ryan Anderson has had a problem in the International Horseshoe. There's Ryan coming through the horseshoe, a little wide on exit, and the back end just steps out and sends him through the grass. That rookie was on a tear in race 1. I suspect we'll be seeing a lot more of him. Wessel now just 9.8 seconds back. Continues to reel in the leader. But Ellis is going to have to make a mistake for Wessel to get there. And at the moment, Ellis is in a position he can slow his pace down a little bit to make sure he makes no mistakes and still maintain the lead. As of right now, Ellis Johnson will make up 36 points in race 2. And about 11 points from race 1. It's about 47 points, almost half the gap. Actually, just over half the gap that Nick Sorensen had coming into this morning. And Ryan Anderson has had another problem back behind. There's Ryan, the rookie, coming through the bus stop. A little too hot. Ouch! Right into the barrier. Just watch this from the chopper and you'll see just how much that hit slows him down and really damaged the car. Wessel continues to reel in the leader, now 8.7 seconds back. He's still roughly a half a second a lap faster than the leader, but with less than 5 minutes to go, likely not going to have enough time to get there. Rudolph Gunther still holds on to third. Adam Barker in fourth. Suleiman Khan in fifth. Mike Dolan currently in sixth. Simon in seventh. Andrew Lau back in eighth. Max Gunther in ninth. Ryan Anderson in 10th. Roman in the Iceberg Lettuce car in 11th. And Stuart Hare in 12th. And as of right now, unless something drastic happens, that will be the finishing order. Although Wessel just gained a lot of ground, he's now 7.9 seconds back. He gained almost a full second on that last lap. Ellis will have to deal with lap traffic that could bring Wessel even closer. If Ellis picks up the white flag this time, he may be okay. But I think he will not get the white flag. That's going to give Wessel another opportunity. And with lap traffic coming into play, anything could happen. No white flag. Ryan moves over, lets Ellis get by easily. Wessel 7.5 seconds back. And over a half second faster that time by. Ellis's lead now just 7.8 seconds. Regardless of outcome, Wessel has had an amazing race too. Got caught up in that early incident. After starting back in 10th, has charged through the field up to second. He's the biggest mover of the race. And Ellis Johnson should pick up the white flag this time. And there it is, white flag one more time around for Ellis. He can play it safe from here as a 7.5 second lead. Hey, good morning, Angel. Ellis Johnson coming out of the infield the final time. Angel, I am the same way. Ellis Johnson down the backstretch the final time. And what a morning it has been. And here he comes through 3 and 4 the final time. Onto the front straightaway. Ellis Johnson will win race 2 and close the points gap at Daytona. What in the world? Now he crosses the finish line. Ellis gets the win at Daytona. I don't know what that was about. I've seen some odd things in 5 years of broadcasting. I've never seen the winner stop just before the start-finish line. Wow. Rudolph coming home in second. Adam comes home third. It's showing Wessel came home in fourth and has significant damage. See if we can see what happened with Wessel. I think he ran out of fuel again. Wessel has not had a good morning with fuel today. Wow. Let's talk to our top three, starting with Adam Barker. Adam, it is really weird that I haven't talked to you much this season.
Yeah, and it's really weird that you're talking to me today as well. I really tried my hardest for not to get the podium today, I think. I was really running it down, and then just a couple of silly mistakes. Spinning the car, losing a lot of time, and then, yeah, somehow managed to make it into P3, so only just, but I'll take it.
I have to say, if Wessel ever figures out fuel mileage, he probably wouldn't, but as long as he keeps running out of fuel, it helps.
Well, yeah, exactly. I mean, it happened to me in Adelaide, so it can happen to anyone. So, yeah, I had that one pretty much closed up, didn't I, in Adelaide, 10 seconds ahead with 20 minutes to go, and binned it there. So, yeah, a little bit of redemption today. So, yeah, hopefully we got all the bad luck out of the way and we can go forwards, get some good results.
Well, man, it has been a rough season, but great to see you back on the podium. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much.
I think that is Adam's first podium of the season. Rudolph Gunther comes home in second. Rudolph, you have had a really interesting morning, but you keep coming home on the podium.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. I made one really big mistake in the fight with Alice, and that cost me a lot. But nevertheless, I'm still happy with the position. It was a good racing with Alice, and too bad for Wessel that he ran out of fuel again. I think he has to work on his fuel strategy.
I think so. I was sad when I didn't realize until after the checkered flag and after you guys had picked it up, I looked over and saw Wessel came home in fourth, and I had to go back and look. That just caught me by surprise.
Yeah, us as well. He didn't tell us until short before he ran out of fuel.
Well, man, a great morning overall. A great job for Team Gunther. Congratulations.
Thanks, Doug. Appreciate it.
And finally, our winner with a huge points day, Ellis Johnson. Ellis, you said you'd be happy if you ended up on the podium. You ended up on top of the podium.
Okay, before anything else, I almost messed up the whole race. I was trying to do a rolling burnout at the end because I was so far ahead, and I just messed it up. So
Yeah, I was wondering why you stopped right before the start-finish line. I was definitely, in 5 years of broadcasting, that's the first time I've seen that.
I was trying to pull a Max Verstappen.
I see.
I had 15 seconds, so.
Oh, man,
I'm happy about
you
that.
definitely had a Verstappen-style drive today, and a big day for points as well. based on the math I did, you're going to close the gap on Nick by over half.
Beautiful. That's actually what I needed. I was falling behind. He's really quick. I actually expected him up here in the podium, despite where he started. So I think we'll have some fun battles. It's going to be a fun season.
It definitely will be. And man, just an awesome run this morning. How worried were you late in that one, watching Wessel close by sometimes as much of as a second a lap?
I saw that. He was closing by like half a second, jumped up to a second. I was kind of playing it conservatively. I was just chilling, not wiping myself out through the bus stop. But once he started hitting those like second faster laps, I was like, yeah, I gotta go.
Well, you win.
Although I think he ran out of fuel.
He did. Yeah, coming out of the bus stop again.
Oh my gosh. Maybe next week.
Well, maybe so, man. Great job, great win, a huge points day. Congratulations.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Ellis Johnson in victory lane again. Continues to close the gap in the points. And next week is the halfway point of this season. And the second half is going to get wild. Folks, don't forget, we're back here tonight, 9:30 Eastern, as the SMRX Series takes on the Oval at Daytona and the season opener. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all had as much fun as we did. Have a great day, y'all.